Oi, oi. Happy Sunday, the 22nd of November 2020. Here for another day of trading. Had some relatively good progress over the last few days. Still keeping stakes low for the time being at £2 each. So streaming now on Twitch, and obviously this is uploaded again later to YouTube. So if you're on YouTube and you find this useful, feel free to subscribe. Look to do these every day. At least for the foreseeable future, and yeah, subscribe and like if you find it useful. So just setting up here to see what we got going on. So bit of inception there, just getting more used to this Twitch thing now. So, all right, we've got first race here. It's being a Sunday. I think things finish a bit earlier than in the week or Saturdays. Let's have a quick look. So things go until 5:30. Probably not going to trade that long, as you've seen or may have seen from previous videos. Usually trade for about 2 to 3 hours and then call it a day from there. But let's see what opportunity we've got today. 10 minutes off on this one. Nearing odds-on favourite on the first selection here. Just a quick reorder. Second favourite trading at 4s. So the third favourite here has come in and hit support at previous lows. Just hovering around there. Not much action at the moment. So we've got 42 grand match so far with 10 minutes ago, which is great liquidity. Very tight book, but the money hasn't really arrived on this yet. The way I judge that is obviously these, well, not necessarily obviously, but these numbers aren't moving around. So I want to see some activity in terms of, you know, the price jumping around to give some volatility to the market, which makes it tradable. So if you need there we go, something like this. If you need a guide, you'll see this is the volume. Like chart matched volume, so this shows what you're looking for is for big amounts like that coming through and frequently, but just because it's moved doesn't mean it's a reason to jump on it. Just waiting for something a bit clearer. So we can see here in this chart it was finding support. Oh, these charts, they piss me off, these static charts. Where they update sometimes, but basically you could see that jump there caused this break in what was previous resistance. So these previous highs that I was looking at here just broke through, potentially on a drift. So could potentially be looking to go long on this. So buy this, and then just looking for the interactions as well with the other selections in the market. This is come in, so I'm looking for that seesaw action. Something drifting means something else is likely to be coming in. Hasn't been much movement on this second favourite, so can't really determine much off of that other than it's finding support around these fours level. See, nothing's been nothing's been matched much lower than 4s. That being a crossover point is also significant. So just ease into this, get a temperature for what's going on. First trade of the day. Don't want to make any silly decisions. So yeah, I'm favouring taking a long position on that. Again, minimum stakes for now. Had a few good days of trading, but you know that can change at the bat of an eyelid with just lapses of concentration or complacency. So got to keep it real, as they say. So I get a feeling this is drifting and then it's coming back and it's finding support at its previous resistance levels. So just figuring out how to play that. Although this has started to drift too as well, which is not favouring that theory on this. But Yeah, just going to hang fire for now. Not looking to rush into anything just yet. Just finding some strong resistance at those previous highs. You can see here. Now it's gone into it there. I could fade that. Or it's not really fading, but it could go short this in the anticipation that it's going to find resistance there again and fall back down. But I'm going to leave that for now. These two have just caught my eye as well. This has been a persistent steamer approaching sixes. Certainly if it breaks 6, it could see a violent move even lower. 6 being the crossover level. There's a lot happening, but I'm not jumped on anything yet. Just waiting to see something that's a bit more clear in terms of how I can position myself. So, as always, it's a waiting game. 6 minutes to the off. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm looking at this as a steamer. I've placed my position to short this just outside the money because I'm deeming that that could be resistance as it comes back, as it moves down and moves back up again. And this is basically the lower high in terms of a downtrend. And I don't want to jump on at this price because just be overpaying for it really. I want to get a decent price, which then allow me to have a bit more wiggle room in terms of how I manage profit and stop losses. So just sticking with that potential exit. On the touch now, let's see if we get matched. There is a persistent drift in these other ones. Tempted to go in at market. Alright. So I've got matched on 2 of those positions. So net stake of 4. Willing to take in that other one there. So got a overall position of 6. Hoping that this level here acts as resistance. And price should move down lower. But obviously that's the plan. But it might not work out that way. This has started to move in, which isn't helping this position. Just going to put a partial close in there, so take off some of this money at profit, hopefully. So in profit now, and you can see the way I've entered these as well. Wow, look, all right. I'm just going to fully exit there. So much happened in that few seconds. But yeah, pulled in a profit. Basically, my take profit, the way I positioned this was that my break even, for me to lose money, it would have had to go much higher than 6s. Just going to green this up. So, yeah, there's about 5 things that happened there. It's pretty tricky to remember everything that happened. But basically, I positioned myself so that I could have this as my reference point, have the 6s as my reference point, which meant that if it went much higher than that, then I'd still be able to get out a relatively small loss or break even. But I'd had multiple positions in so that you saw how they were differently spaced out, right? 5.2, 5.3 on the exits. So I was taking some profit nearer to the entry and then some a bit further away. There was a massive jump, massive chunk of money came in relative terms, which pushed the market down, pushed me into profit, and I was able to exit. Now I could be still riding this down, taking advantage of that, but I just decided to exit everything as there was the profit was a decent amount, time's ticking on, so greened up. So I've got, basically, regardless of outcome, I would win between 49 and 59p. Next, stop babbling. Next one, so 18, 12, 18. So started the day on a profit there. Again, important not to be complacent and just trade each market as I see it. Yesterday, I started the day on a loss, and then that was the only loss of the day. I think last week Sunday, I've been doing this now for about a week. Last week Sunday I started with a loss. I started with a profit similar to today, and then things deteriorated across the rest of the day. Yeah. So next one here, 9 minutes to off. 34 grand match. Not great, but not bad either in terms of match volume. Tight book. Reasonably priced favourites, similarly priced at threes. This one's come in, found support, started to drift recently, and encountering resistance for what these previous highs were here. So that previous support has now become resistance. So a floor has now become a ceiling. It's just oscillated and consolidated around that area. This one here, it's drifted, come in. Kind of consolidated, but over a wider range of prices. You can see here, and it's kind of finding support now. So, viably a break lower could be on the cards, or it might just bounce off that support to kind of attack these previous highs again around 3.75. So, just gonna get a feel for what might be able to do on this one now. Get a feel that this could be moving up to attack those highs again. Just have a quick reorder just in case. Seven minutes 40 until the off. Now I'm considering laying this, but the problem is there's not much of a range in terms of the movement that this is done before it hits resistance. So I could viably, lay this here, but it will only be a few ticks that I'm going for. Ideally, I want the potential or the scope for a potential trend to be continued, rather than just betting on a breakout. But yeah, we'll just have to see how things materialize. Mm-mm-mm-mm. 7 minutes. And definitely, as I mentioned various times yesterday, I think the day before as well, the thing that I'm happiest about this week is just my ability to not trade certain certain races if the conditions I'm looking for aren't there. And that fair enough, there's less skin in the game, but then there's also less opportunity, less chance of losing money. And I think that's what's helped with the strike rate. Over the last few days, my strike rate's been 90%. So it's only one or higher. So it's been one loss that I've made on the day in total, and those days have still been profitable. But yeah, I can't go flapping my gums about that because anything can happen. So just trying to get that consistency really, and keep it real. This does feel like it's edging in, but just hitting that support, you can see it must be this level here, 3.3. Can't quite, 3.25. Really? Yeah, okay, this level. It's kind of done a double bottom. It hasn't edged much lower than that. Not seeing any clear opportunities. Just done a quick reorder there. This one is now the favourite, which was previously the second favourite. They're almost same price at the moment. Consolidated for a long time, consolidated forever. Come in, but these prices are way too high, really. Although it's not that the prices are high, it's just that there's no money behind them. I'd happily trade that to short, but there's just it could be tricky to enter or exit with any if these stakes were bigger. I'm just trading as if I was using bigger stakes. For now, I'm just keeping it low at £2 stakes, and obviously trading, or it might not be obvious, trading with smaller stakes is not going to be the same as with bigger ones, because you've got you'll be filled differently. If these were, say, £200 stakes, it might be the case where, as I'm quite nimble now with £2 stakes, you're less agile when it comes to trading with bigger stakes. Things can take longer to get filled. You might not get filled. You might even move the market if the position is too big. So I am overtly aware of the impact of the size of stakes have on the market, but the idea is to scale up eventually. A lot of consolidation in recent times, so I can't really see anything to move on. 3 minutes tee off. I'm just feeling that with that, as the clock ticks down, there's more risk that I can do, and there's more risk in what I do, and less chance I can fix anything that goes wrong. So I'm just thinking my time's going to be better spent on a different race. So I'm just looking to the next one. Sorry, fly. But yeah, this doesn't look great. 22 grand matched. 10 minutes tee off. It's an odds-on favourite. Falls. So the numbers, the odds that he's trading at is fine, but the market's just really thin. There's no money in this. So it's cork. So this is the Irish markets are typically, I find, a bit lower on liquidity. So this might be one to pass on as well, unless it picks up. So just gonna see how this develops. So yeah, you can see again, if you need a guide to whether there is truly money coming in, I mean, you can keep an eye on this one here, increase volume in the feature here, or you can set up a chart just to give you an idea of what volume's coming in. And you can see here now, over the last few seconds, there's been some amounts of money coming in, not huge amounts, only 50 quid. Well, that's about what, 60 quid, 65 quid. And you want these to be frequent and big, so hundreds or thousands of pounds coming in every bar. Frequency is picking up, but I don't really need that. You can see that in the movement of prices. There we go. So there's money coming in. 8 minutes tee off. Looks like it could have broken this support that we were seeing, so potentially steaming in. That's not great in terms of so I'm thinking of laying this off of fours if this is truly going to break. Too late, just fucking talking all the time here. Let me take a position on this. So rather than jump on that, which I feel might have I might have missed the timing on that it's already extended. I'm looking to lay this. No, actually, second thoughts. I was looking to lay this in the anticipation that it will move higher, but I just checked myself in terms of the logic of that, because this is at resistance here. I'll be selling into that resistance. It has broken higher, so it would have been right on it, but I just, you've got to position yourself correctly. So yeah, check yourself before you wreck yourself. And that's it, really. Just trying to make sure that the story that I want the market to do, and I have no influence over the market whatsoever, but what I want to do is position myself so that the readability of what I anticipate to happen is there at the time. I can read what's the market's kind of displaying or demonstrating the behavior that I want to see, which just frames how I can enter and exit a lot better. So I'm looking to short this here. I've put it speculatively, as you can see, outside the money. I've cancelled that now. Let me just reassess what's going on here. And it can be really tricky to talk and trade at the same time, so forgive any darting about, because as you can see, something happens, and by the time I've tried to start explaining it, it's already moved on to the next thing. But this has come down, it's hit support, double bottomed, and now it's potentially moving away on a bit of a drift, potential reversal. I think fours could still be okay if that continues. All right. So I'm looking to lay this now because this appears to be potential support. This potentially still coming in, but I'll be okay laying this if I get a decent price. So I want to get it on fours, or maybe 4.1. Yeah, it would have been good for a two. Yeah, I've missed it though. Would have been good for a few ticks, but and what else is happening? Again, I can't look at everything at the same time, and yeah, I'd suggest not to be honest. Focus on one or two things rather than trying to, gauge everything that's going on at the same time. Because that is a good way to lose money. Just your attention just going to whatever's happening. If you don't have a good inkling to what you're looking for. So possibly going to get matched here. I have. Going to keep this light, so I'm hoping this sticks as support. It's broken through it. Which isn't good. This is drifting, which isn't good. Might just scratch this. Yeah, it's going to scratch that. Just play defense. 4 minutes to the off. Yeah, I don't like the way this is drifting. Now this potentially could be because this is drifting, this potentially could be moving lower. So I've completely switched my decision in terms of direction here, and I'm now taking a short, or trying to back at fours, in the anticipation that we could see that bearishness continue to potentially move lower, because this is still moving out, which will help this position. I've kept it nice and light in terms of position size because we are running out of time, and I'm not 100% on what could happen, but okay, yeah, we got matched, so pulled another profit on that. So that's one win, one pass, another win, or profit I should say. That's yeah, because you can still lose money, but it still be a win if you like, if you've traded it well, and you've taken the taken on board what you're seeing in terms of conditions of the market, and you've still made a loss. In my opinion, that's still a win, because you've protected your capital. So profit is probably a more accurate description of when you've made money, and then a loss in terms of profit and loss when you don't. So next one here, 10 minutes to the off. What we got? Again, very flat kind of markets. Flat here, very choppy, but a wider range. You can see these ranges here. You can see it in the price action on the chart and also on the ladder. It hasn't really matched more than 4 kind of price increments. It is finding support at these 3 zones, which is interesting, because it's this crossover level, psych level. And just the range on this one it's a similar kind of, it's oscillating between support and resistance, moving up and moving down, but it's a bigger range. So you can see the match volume is over these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 8 different levels, whereas this is only about 4. So it's about twice the distance that you're seeing in this range. So if I were to box trade it, so trade between support and resistance, then it's changed position now because I've reordered, but this was the one we were looking at in terms of the bigger range. This would be one to consider because you've got more movement to go over. But 8 minutes and a half till the off. So this is the reason this is the key level, because you can see in the charts how it's hit 3s, this level here, and it's coming into it now. So it's found support. So really what considering is this, as it approaches this level now again, is it going to bounce off again and follow through with that support that it's seen previously, or is it going to break? If it breaks, it's probably going to be an aggressive break, so it's going to break through and then shoot down for a few ticks. But yeah, that's conjecture. I'm not going to just trade based on that hypothesis. I need something a bit more confirming, a bit more structured to determine how to potentially trade it. Yeah, just looking around, trying not to lose money by doing anything silly. Ooh. And yeah, again, if you want to see this live and you're watching this as a replay, do this at least for now live on Twitch every day around, I guess, around midday UK time for at least a couple of hours or so. So you can certainly subscribe on my YouTube channel, or on Twitch as well to see the live stream. So what we got? It's coming into support. It's attacking this support again. This is starting to drift, potentially hit resistance. So we could see a bounce on this. Not seeing anything that I like at the moment. Just sitting on my hands, at least metaphorically. 6 minutes to the off. Just realised the other day I never really look at the names of these horses. L'air du vent. Something of wind. Yeah, my French is not up to scratch. L'air. Don't know what's l'air. Layer of wind. Air of wind. L'air. Maybe it's the air of wind. Don't know. The Wolf. The Mighty Don. Fado de Bros. A lot of French type names in here. But yeah, who cares? I think that probably puts me at advantage, not really caring what horses are or don't do anything on form or anything like that. It's not of interest to me. It's just how the numbers move. Five minutes to the off. What do we have? Shit, the mic's on. Almost forgot. Had so many mishaps with mic not commentary not recording. Okay, it's just starting to drift higher. Should hopefully see that move into support. To threes. Still nothing that I can action on, really. I mean, I could short this, the way this has gone into potential resistance, these previous highs. But it does look like it's breaking rather than retracing. Yeah, it has broken. Chart's just laggy. Just have a quick reorder. No, it's all the same. If that persists with its kind of bullishness, then that might help this break threes. If that breaks threes, then maybe I'll catch it on a pullback. So it'll break through, and then typically price breaks and then pulls back and then breaks and impulsively makes a new low in a downtrend. Okay, so it's tapped it, but it hasn't broke. So now that it's broken threes, to confirm this as a breakout, I want to see this, move. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this tentative. Now that it's broken threes, I've put in an order at threes. So I'm hoping or anticipating this could now be resistance. And the price could move lower. So I've got a 6 net stake in there. Just going to take out some of that at the current market price. So get a bit more wiggle room on where my break even is. So far, this has kind of gone in my favor. I am just wary of this out of the corner of my eye that seems to be coming in. But now that this is broken threes, I anticipate that's going to be resistance. And it's going to bounce off of it and then make a move lower. There is money coming through. Oh, no. It's reversing on me slightly. So at this point, I just need to be... Oh, but this is drifting hard. What's coming in? Oh, it's this one. It's this one coming in hard. Happy to maintain for now at least. There's still chunks of money coming through. Might consider lightening the position. So I've got a final net stake of 2s in there. Just going to move that up because time's running out, and I was using the previous matched volume as a guide as where could be support. To be honest, if I'd left all those positions in, I've hit bigger profit targets. But 60 seconds to the off was in profit. Wasn't any clear signs that it could punch much lower. So just decided to play defense, get out, most importantly, get out before the off, whether it's a profit or loss. But yeah, happy with that one. Oh, another one that's thin. I can just see it immediately in these charts that there's not much volume, but yeah, it's confirmed. 11 grand, 7 minutes to the off. Don't have too high hopes for this. That is very thin. Not for me, governor. Not for me. Let's have a look. Let's, bring out the P&L. See how I've been doing today. So 49p, 8p, break even, I think, was the next one after that. So just looking off screen, so not paying attention to what action's going on at the moment. Yep, okay. So looking back at the screen again now, so favourite at two very similar, almost identically priced first and second favourites. The other ones are quite thin, only 13 grand match, 5 minutes to the off. Yeah, this could be a good place to lose money. It's just not the there's movement, but there's just no weight behind it. You want to see, you can see how frequently these are coming in. So frequency is reasonably good, but these bars need to be higher in terms of the volume. And you can see on the book as well. You know, these are only single or double digit numbers, whereas you want to see hundreds or thousands to ensure that you're trading in a liquid market. So no liquidity equals no trades. 4 minutes, the time ticks down, obviously things get riskier. So this might be another one that I pass on. In fact, let's just see when the next one is. Let's just moved on to the next race here, just to see if there's because my time would probably be better spent looking for better opportunity, better quality trades or markets to trade in. This one here is looking better in that 35 grand to match with still 12 minutes to the off. That other one was 25 grand with 5 minutes to the off. So immediately you can see got a better quality type of meeting. Here got a favourite that's very kind of choppy. Well, it's quite a wide range, bouncing around between whatever that is, 5s and 6s. Well, you can see it here in the ladder anyway. So between 5 here and 6 here, or if you want to use the chart and try and read off these very faint lines, 5 this support here, 6 this resistance here. Second favourite, again very choppy. Third favourite, come in, hit a low, pulled away, hitting resistance. So consolidating for a bit. Nothing really jumps out at me. Just kind of a reorder. Yeah. Just gonna hang tight, really. Hold fire. Just looking off screen at the moment. Yeah, just trying to take this One trade at a time, really. Best way to eat an elephant is one piece at a time. So these small little wins, they do add up. Also, the as I said as well, the ability to not trade also adds up. It preserves capital if the opportunity isn't there. And then I guess further down the line, just a improved scaling strategy as well, just to increase the position size that I have. So it's 102 book, reasonably tight. Could be better. 36 grand matched, 9.5 minutes until the off. Still a bit sleepy, this market. Wake up. Oh, it seemed to have worked. So this here just falling into this support. It's just seen above fives. This is where the brunt of the money's been matched at 5.4 and 5.5. Reorder those. Yeah, this is reality. Just waiting for opportunity to appear, and I think this is what a lot kind of is a downfall for a lot of people, as they can get just impatient. I've been there myself, so not just all people, me as well. I'm not an expert at this, as I keep saying, but I think impatience and bad money management, two things that to the downfall to a lot of traders, for a lot of traders. Because let's be honest, not a lot of money, not a lot of I can't even speak. Not a lot of people, are successful at this. Many want to be, but it's very rare to be successful at that. And the ones who are typically quiet about it as well. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this. The only reason I'm doing this stream is for my own, my own benefit, posterity, just to see how I've improved over time. So, if you have something that's working, smart people don't really shout that loud about it. So just be wary of anyone who's shouting about making shitloads of profits or promising you the earth on this kind of stuff, because it's not easy. And I must admit, I don't think a lot of it is, some of it's teachable, some of it isn't. Again, I'm just still learning myself, but that's my opinion. I mean, I've been in various markets before, so I'm just talking. I'm not just chatting shit here. I mean, I've worked in the financial markets. I've worked for companies that do financial data. I've worked as a stockbroker, so I do have some idea around the market or markets in general. But yeah, I think this really isn't for everybody. Do 5 minutes, 6 minutes to the off. Still quite range bound. Hitting resistance consistently. I'm falling away. But I'm looking for clearer signs of a potential breakout, really. Or something that's already broken out. With the clock ticking down, that could be less likely to happen. This is attacking its lows now. Let's see if it... so it breaking fives could be significant. So if it were to do that, that what was previous support could turn into resistance, so it breaks through it or breaks through on the charts and then pulls back, finding resistance at these types of levels. If it were to do that, potentially I would get in at 5s or thereabouts, but that's a whole lot of conjecture. I need to wait for it to happen before making those sorts of plans. Might just bounce off of 5s. And what you might find as well, I mean, the reason why I find, I mean, although it's tricky to talk and trade at the same time, if you are, what you may find it useful because it just helps slow down the decision process, I guess, sometimes, or helps you think through, you know, before clicking the button, is this really what I want to do? So, you know, talking to yourself can help. At least I've found it helpful. Just look back over the last few days. Only been doing this 10 days of recordings, and there has been, you know, there has been noticeable improvements. If you look back at the earlier videos to today, he says, not trying to not get too big for my boots, because at the end of the day I don't want to be complacent about this. Fully aware shit can just change, or a momentary loss of concentration and it's game over. You're fucked. You blow your account, or you do something stupid, you let something go and play, or you let, you know, the price just run away on you and not act. Or you do something silly like I've done a few times, like you running off of Wi-Fi rather than Ethernet, or you fat finger click on something and you put too much money in the market or at the wrong price. Yeah, pretty much anything that's gone wrong has gone to me and gone wrong for me in the markets in one way or the other. But yeah, as long as you can live to trade another day, you're in a good place. Oh, the amount of accounts I've blown in the years. Thousands upon thousands. Not just in this, in other markets as well. Oh, 2 minutes here. Fuck this. Right. Next. Yeah, the amount of money I have... it's been an expensive education. So, that's why you see I'm starting small here, just to get a feel for how these markets work and consistency, proof of my consistency before scaling up. Wow, look at this, very short price favorites. Jesus. Excuse me 1 sec. The fly just gone into my eye, or a mosquito or something like that. Very small thing. But we've got here 140 grand matched, 8 minutes to off. This very short price favorite has kind of drifted in. Shit ton of money on it. Hasn't really traded. You can see like 20, 28 grand, 40 grand. So it's about, I don't know, 110 odd grand on this, matched within this range here. And the other ones, look at the prices on these other ones. Bloody hell. 30s is the next one. So what this is saying is that this horse has a 88% chance of winning, and the rest of the book, you know, what is that? I don't know, 13 other selections carry the rest of it, like 12% chance or 11.5% chance of running. So 7 minutes to off. Let's just look at the chunks of money on this. Bloody hell. 40 grand, 10 grand, 13 grand at the touch. So it's just, this is just a different type of market. And it's just, I mean, even trying to make markets on this, if I were to say lay this and look to back it just for a tick, because it's a queuing system, I need to go to the back of that queue. So yeah, very liquid. It just requires a different way of trading. It reminds me of the like the US presidential elections at the moment. It's almost £1 billion that's been matched on. I'm not actively trading that anymore, but I was able to build positions in that, up until the election day. At the moment, the reason it's not really, in my opinion, viable to make markets in the same way as easily as it was, pre-election, is because there's just so much money on the bloody touch price. There's literally millions. If this is far enough out, I'll switch to it quickly. Yeah, so 14 minutes. I'm just going to switch to it quickly. Let's find that. There's about, I don't know, I had a look this morning, ridiculous amount of money. No filter. £1 billion. That's almost 5 times. The second biggest market was, I think, 200 million, which was the other US election in 2016. But this one blows that out of the water. Politics, there we go. US elections. Oh god, the menus in Betfair have always been just shit, in my opinion. But anyway, look, so we've got taking the two favourites, obviously Biden and Trump, but look at the amounts, and the columns are almost too bloody small for them. But Biden's coming to 1.04, and that is hang on, 2, 3, that's 116 grand. This one is almost $1 million. Well, sorry, 809,000. And it's just, yeah, I don't know how to trade that at low risk. Certainly, well, if I had massive amounts of money, tens of thousands to put in on that, yeah, that could be an option. But no, I'm out of this market at the moment, just waiting for it to settle. So I'll make 200 if when Biden is confirmed, and should the worst happen and Trump actually does win this, which is hopefully not gonna happen, but who knows with that guy, then I would make £82.65. But next, sorry, go back to a bit sidetracked there. Going back to horse racing, which is what I'm here for. So we've got a next one at, what is it, 12:51. 13:03. So back to it. 11 minutes to the off. Favourite twos come in, found support, bounced off of it, pulled away, potentially attacking that support again. Could be a reversal though and move higher. Second favourite drifted, pulled away slightly, drifted again, breaking that previous support, come down and made what could be a viable lower high, finding resistance against those previous lows. That was previous support, so that's an example of support turned into resistance. And the other ones quite highly priced, not really interested in them at the moment, just reordering there. So we can see the second favourite is now the favourite. Let's see what we can see. So certainly this level of 2.4 looks like it's acted as reasonable support. So to be long on this and basically betting on a reversal rather than a break, I'd want to see this move in, and vice versa actually. I mean, that would mean, just bear with me, just going to concentrate for a bit here, don't want to miss this opportunity unnecessarily. So see, this movement in the recent charts has been almost identical. This move here, pull back, consolidate. If you look at here, come down, pull back, consolidate. It's exactly the same. So these, at least in recent price movement, have been very correlated. Hmm. 8 minutes. Yeah, it's just, again, a waiting game. So my focus is really just on these two, just to see how they're reacting, or for signs of basically, I guess, a break on one of them. So a rapid movement in either direction, which will then lead me to reassess taking a potential position. Again, they're moving very correlated. This one's moving up, this one's moving up as well. This one is a bit more reactive than this one, which leads me to think something else is coming in on the book, or the others in aggregate are coming in. Well, I can definitely see that at least has been moving in. It's all yin and yang. If something's happening one way, there's got to be an equal reaction otherwise. If something's happening one direction, there's got to be something happening in the opposite, because otherwise it would just cause inefficiencies that arbiters would take advantage of. So that's why these markets are pretty efficient. They seem to, they'll correct themselves relatively quickly if there are anomalies. So this looks like it's persisted to drift. This looks like it's come into support, potentially to break it. So it's starting to move in slightly different directions. This one looks like it's a persistent steamer, just broken 8s. Maybe if that breaks 8s and pulls back, that could be an opportunity. Although it looks like it's found support there. This does look like it's pushing higher, doesn't it? But I'm not willing to get on it just yet. Could be a missed opportunity, but hey, the market always gives you more. It won't give you more money though. Hmm, 5 minutes 30 till the off. Been a very defensive game today. It's come down, hit support. That looks like it's double topping. So if that's hit support, okay, here's the play. So I think I'm on the wrong side of that. Scratch that, at least for now. No, actually, keep that in. Come on, mate, make up your mind. So I saw this come into resistance here, which is a likelihood of it moving down. This is at the bottom of its range at support, which gives the chance that it could move up higher, at least for a few ticks. So I'm just going to try and build on that position slightly and look to take out potential profit at what I deem as resistance. So what I've done there, oh hang on, still got a net position in there, just take that out. So what I've done there is just play off how these two seem to have been reacting with each other. So I've seen that this is kind of in a channel and it's not persistently breaking higher. Same here, it's not persistently breaking lower or higher. But this was at the bottom of its range and this was at the top of its range. So that meant that this had a likelihood of moving down and this had a likelihood of moving up. So the play was to basically buy at support, so buy at the lower edge here, whatever that price was. So lay at 2.38 and then sell or back again at the top of the resistance, top of the level there. So that was the 2.42. And that way, you know, there was no point having, in my opinion, take profit, you know, way up here, because that would have meant the price would have needed to break to make new highs. It was outside the context of what the market was showing me at the time. Now, yeah, it does appear to be breaking to make lower lows, but it doesn't matter. I've already made a decision, already made a profit off of it, and managed that position, I think, reasonably sensibly. So on to the next one. So what we got? 9 minutes to off, 24 grand match, not great. Book could be more efficient. It's not that tight. Ideally want to see this nearer to 101, or you know, nearer to 100, but you know, about 101 or 102 or less. But we've got a favorite here consolidating around threes as well, so psych level. Second favorite also consolidating after coming in, so it's steamed in but then just choppy. These other higher odd ones are pretty shit. Just going to reorder just in case. Yeah. Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. So 7.5 minutes. Favorite at threes. Looks like it's I'm going to call that resistance because it looks like it's come from under. Well, it's come from under the threes. It's moved into it, not moving much higher. Can't really read much on this one. It's just been flat. Brunt of the money's been matched at just two or three price levels. Poor liquidity, really. Only 27 grand matched. Not much coming in. Starting to pick up. Volume's starting to pick up, but we got 5-6 minutes to be off. Let's see when the next one after this is at 118. We'll give this about another minute or so, just to see if there's any interesting developments. But as you can see, just waiting. Five minutes till the off. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, mes amis. 5 minuten. There's a chunk of money there, but I'm not reading too much into that. Oh, there we go. So that's broken resistance. Big chunk of money. What's that? 4 grand, 4,300 almost. Let's push this higher. So how's that going to have a reaction on the rest of the book? I'd anticipate maybe some downward movement in some of the other ones. Maybe for it to come back into threes and now find support off of that. You can see it just jumped up. Typically what will happen after that knee-jerk reaction, it will retrace somewhat. As a rule of thumb, obviously nothing's an absolute in these markets, but typically price isn't going to move in one straight line. There will be impulse moves and then retracing, and then moves higher again for new higher highs, and then pulls back, creates a new high low. 3 minutes. So we have seen this start to drift, but that hasn't caused any tradable action on the second favourite, which would it be breaking that support, maybe going towards fours. A bit thin on time now as well. If I get into any hot water, I think the thing is to just move on. So we've got 118, which should be what, 10-11 minutes off, 10 minutes. Favourite at twos come in, retraced, interacting with previous lows now. So that previous support where the price struggled to move now lower is now a level where it's struggling to get higher. So that could become a lower high, and the price moves back to attack these lows again, so around these levels. Or it might just pull back and move higher again, so to break past this previous support, past this resistance, and move higher. That's just the reference points that I'm seeing. Second favourite here, quite choppy, albeit on a slight bias to come in. So slight bearish bias. Saying that 10 times. Bearish bias, bearish bias, bearish bias. Basically, a bearish bias. 9 minutes to the off. There's quite a few that I've passed on today. Gladly, gladly passed on them. Not eager to lose any money. I mean, the first trade of the day has helped as well. That's so looking at 49p, 8p, 9p. I think there might be another 9p in there as well. That hasn't settled. Yeah. Just looking off screen at the moment. Yeah, so the last market I traded was, oh no, it wasn't that long ago. Okay, about 10 minutes ago. So that's about 74p in total. Once those have settled. So this has come off, hit resistance, it's pulled away now. Potentially attacking this low again. This could be finding. What level is that? No. Just gonna hang fire for now. Decent amounts of money coming through. You can see from here, or at least a frequency, big order there. 7 minutes to the off. Breaking threes. Just struggling to see potential entry points. Oh, okay, so that's come up. It's hit resistance. It looks like at these previous highs. This is coming into support. So but they do look primed for potentially. They haven't just been consolidating for ages. They have consolidated, but there's definitely a bias, I would say, to the upside on this and to the downside on this, which is why I'm hesitating to buy that support or sell that resistance, at least for now. 5 minutes 40 until the off. This could be a breakout. Well, it's coming to twos, isn't it? It's been a gentle steam. This is now I consider this more of a gentle drift, although it does have some resistance to overcome. Let's see what happens as it approaches 2s here. A break of 2s would be interesting to potentially push this lower and confirm that steam, and also cause this to drift. But just getting a bit ahead of myself there, really. Ooh, come on. What can you see? What can you see? What can you do? Obviously you can't see my eyes, but it's just I'm shifting between these two and then the charts as well. So the ladders and the charts, just to try and get a sense of what could happen. And how they're vibing off each other. Definite support at that level. 3 minutes. So I'm tempted to take a long position on this. I'm going to put something outside the money, just speculatively. I'm running out of time. Just seeing. Do I really want to do that? No. So, I wasn't anticipating there could be some upward movement on this just because of the support it's found at these levels, but wasn't really seeing anything convincing from that, which is why I just cancelled it. And yeah, I think time's running a bit thin to really act on this. There's definitely opportunity in this, but for other traders maybe. For me, I couldn't really see anything tradable, and time is just running out, so might just have to move on. 9 minutes off on this one. Thin liquidity, relatively thin. 20 grand matched. 102 book, could be tighter. 5s, 7s, 8s. Yeah, been a tricky day for training. Although, I guess compared to last week, last week is where I lost. I made some pretty persistent. Let me just bring up my spreadsheet and see what was going on then. So last Sunday, I don't know what it was, just an eagerness to trade or just not as much understanding as a week on. So I started the day in profit last week, 29p. Then the next one was a profit, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4 losses in a row, and ended near the end of the day on a loss as well. So, I've probably passed on about four or five markets today, as you've seen. So that's just money that could have been saved. Of course, don't know that without having actually traded. No one knows what could have happened, but that could be a good sign in terms, or I feel it is a good sign in terms of progression, because just being more picky with what I decide to trade. But this here, back to what's in front of me. 21 grand match, 7 minutes to the off. Not great. Well, let's just read what I'm seeing here. So the favourite here, it's coming, it's drifting, it's finding supports at 5s, it seems. It's a good reference point. So potentially buying off of that to, buy this going potentially up to hit its resistance again. So continuing this boxy type shape, channel, if you like. Or it could break 5s and then move lower, in which case the play would be, I guess, waiting for that to happen and then getting in at 5s with a back to short this. But the money's really thin on this. 52, 259, not great numbers. And yeah, the other ones aren't much better either. I mean, this has come in, looks like there's a bias definitely to the downside here. Approaching 7s, found support. I mean, an aggressive drift on this might be worth shorting this if that causes it to break 7s. Coming into 5s now. 6 minutes. Just tapped through 5s there, didn't it? Oh no, it's persisting. Could see a bit of a move on this, bit of a run. But it's just no money behind it. Oh, actually, yep, there we go. So it broke through 5s, and that's what I mean. Again, when these psych levels, they seem to just be reactionary points. So when it broke that, it moved down aggressively. So we're seeing lower lows now. So viably, I could get in on a pullback, but I'm just not seeing any money in this market to make that worth my while in terms of risk. At least not yet. And this move and this tick down up, it's been mirrored in this one as well. So just I'm favouring a short on this, but I'd like to see some more confirming movement from here. We got 4 minutes. I'm gonna put something outside the money there. So I'm hoping it comes back in to find resistance there to get me matched. It is moving away on me, but I don't want to get in now because it's not decent value for money in terms of the price. I want a bargain. Nah, not liking this. Not liking this at all. So I'm just gonna move on. Very thin market that. Compared to this. So this is the type of quality you're looking for. You can see 10 minutes off. Almost 60 grand matched. Favourite at 5s. Second favourite at 6s. Favourite looks like it's been on a drift but coming to resistance of previous highs there. Just falling away now. Second favourite has been on a gentle drift, plenty of money matched along the way, finding support at 6s, so we'll be favouring going long on that with enough enough evidence from other selections. These are, yeah, not really tradable. But yeah, going long on this is already moved off, so I just need to recompose myself to see what might be possible. Just noticing this favorite here looks like it's coming into support. It's its lowest lows so far, coming into support here, so we could see a bounce as it moves higher. Hmm. 10 minutes see off. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? But by and by, it's been an okay day. Made profit so far. Passed on more than I've taken part in probably, but that's all right. So I'm judging the support in this at these levels. So I'm tempted to put and this is kind of at the top of its range, which is helpful because that means it's going to potentially pull back. Okay. So I've put a got 2 orders in there, keeping this nice and light. My hypothesis is it should move higher. You can see this is the area that I'm deeming as support, which is these lows here. It's where the brunt of the money's been matched. So this moving in a retrace as well, you can see it started to move down, can help this potentially move higher. So let's just see how this pans out. So moved into some profit there, but again just keeping an eye and trying to listen to the market, what it's doing, and not be too greedy. So I've got a net stake of 4. Just gonna, because of this consolidation here, it hasn't persisted lower, but it hasn't moved higher either. So I'm just trying to use the previous resistance levels as a guide to where I might take some money off the table. So I've put my orders in there. Just see what we've got matched at. 4.7 and 4.6. And also, well, yeah, that isn't good. So I need to just reevaluate. It's broken lower, coming to previous support. So not too panicked, but I am just reassessing because the dynamics of the market looks like they're changing. Corner of my eye, I can see that it's persisting to its upper range, which doesn't help me because it's going to push this lower. But I still feel that there could be a pullback as it moves lower. As it creates its new high, it could at least pull back to previous levels with what was support now become resistance. Move that down as well. Just trying to play on the defense here. Still got 5-6 minutes to go. And lightening, clipping there. Lightening the position as well will give me a bit more wiggle room in terms of. There we go. It's just moved away from me. So don't want to sit on this too long. Still okay with the position where it is at the moment, but I think I can see that edging away. So I'm just lightening the position. So I've taken some of that a loss. Willing to take more of a loss. I'm keeping this position here because I'm at the front, near the front of the queue on that. So should this move into it, I should be okay. But I've got to be wary, right? It's not been, nothing in recent price movement has said that this is going to really edge higher. So I'm just trying to protect that, or reduce the loss, if you like. There's more disaster management at the moment. So I'm just hovering over the market price because I may need to just take the market price at a greater loss, but I just feel it could at least sneak back up to save me an extra tick, but that might be too optimistic. But you know, I'm alright with taking a loss. I'm willing to take a loss. I'm going to move this down because time's ticking away as well. 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Still a decent amount of time to work with, but I've just got to play a bit more defensive. Before the market makes the decision for me. £60 to go before potentially getting matched. There we go. Okay, so gonna red up on this first loss of the day. 3 minutes to go, 13p loss regardless of outcome. Next one we're looking at here, 1340. 50 grand matched, 10 minutes to the off. So what we got? Flat, at least in recent price movement. In fact, all of these just feel like they've mirrored each other, these top three, but just in different variations. You can see it's been a very sharp move in, pulled out. Maybe it's a selection that's been removed. That might be it, because you can see they've all moved in, moved back, and then consolidated. So potentially, I don't know, but I'm guessing that's what it is. Maybe there's just been one horse that's been withdrawn that's caused that to move like that. Not seeing a whole lot of opportunity this Sunday. Of course, that's where keeping records of what you've done can be helpful. It might just be seasonally this time of year that Sunday's a bad day to trade, or it might be certain race courses, maybe the combination of those warrant that today could be a bad day. But I'm not going to read into that just off of two days trading on a Sunday. Need a long enough period to come to any type of conclusions. So, but yeah, when there's enough history for me to look back on. That'll be interesting to see. Am I trading worse on Sundays? Why am I trading worse on Sundays? Is it the quality of the race, or just time between them, time of year? I guess throughout the year the different kinds of I don't know, I'm talking shit, don't know anything about horse racing. But yeah, I'll let the numbers talk really rather than infer too much into it. So we've got this at support, this at support, this is broken support, potentially moving level, and it's also broken 5, so it could be finding 5s as resistance. That is shifting out. Alright, what I'm going to do is just put 2 orders in here in the anticipation that this could still continue with a downward move, and this is going to continue to drift, or at least hit resistance, bounce off of support and hit resistance. But I want to get short on this but at a decent price, which is why I've put it slightly outside the money. So 6 minutes to off. That's hitting resistance. So if that breaks free, that if I get filled, that will help my position, I would anticipate. But if it retraces, that's I mean, in the short term, if that retraces, that's actually going to help me short term, because I want these to get filled. Five minutes to the off. If I see that dramatically break 3s as well, and there's still time, then I'd be happy to get in at market, but I'm not seeing that. In fact, this is come in, but okay, I've got filled on this, so I need this 5 to hold as resistance now and potentially push this lower. So that breaking 3s, let me just be a bit more aggressive on this. So it's a tricky. So the reason that this 3s is quite pivotal is that you can see how it's held previously at these previous price levels. So it breaking it would be quite significant. There'll be a aggressive. Typically there'll be an aggressive move up. But I just need to maybe focus a bit more on what's at hand here, rather than speculating. Okay, that's helped. So I need to see this move down. And I'm just not concentrating enough here on what's happening with my take profits, because I'm just moving these around. Yeah, this looks like it's holding a support rather than the resistance that I wanted it to. But I'm okay to maintain this position because this is still drifting. Just going to have a quick reorder just in case there's something that's moved. So let's see how I can manage this profit. Ideally not let it see it go into a loss. Maintaining the theory that around about 5s or 5.1 is acting as resistance to push this down, and this drifting is going to aid this moving in. Nothing else dramatically kind of moving on the book, so okay to maintain this, but time is ticking down. 3 minutes till the off. As always, just a waiting game. considering now moving up my my take profits, just because time is ticking down and there hasn't been any convincing break of support, even though it might happen in the next, in the last minute or so. I don't want to take it to the wire if I don't need to. In fact, this is starting to move away on me. Going to take that one out of market if the market lets me. This is moving in, which isn't going to help me. So I've reduced that, allowing for a bit more of a wiggle room on the stop loss. Maintaining this position because it's, relatively near the front anyway. And there we go, got an out. Green up, move on. Yeah, happy with how I read that. I mean, as I said before, I was looking at this point, anticipating that this bearishness could continue and break those lows. It didn't, it consolidated. But because I was patient in terms of where I entered my short position, it meant that I had, enough wiggle room to at least take a few ticks, or worst case scenario, break even. That's not even the worst case. The worst case scenario is taking a reduced loss. But it was sensibly positioned based on where the price action was moving. Let's see what else we got. So next one, only 5 minutes. Decent amount matched, tight book, 5 minutes to the off. Favorite at 2's been consolidating. Second favorite 3's drifted. Third favorite come in on a steam but hitting support at previous price levels. Let's see if there's enough time to do something about this. So favouring this on the drift. Oh, this looks like it's gently coming in. The delay in these charts pisses me off. Because as you can see, my decisions are mainly based around historical price action to see where key support or resistance levels might be. So although this software has dynamic charts that update like in real time, it doesn't show you all the historical price action. It only shows you it from like the last minute or 2 minutes, and that only starts as well from when you open the race. So I want to see all this historical stuff here, which is why I find these charts useful, but they do lag in terms of what the price is doing. They're not dynamic, but yeah, just work around it. Be aware of the limitations. So this here looks like it could be that looks like it's broken. Again, just waiting on these to fucking update. No, I've left this to 3 minutes to the off. I'm gonna pass. There is activity that's tradable there, but I've just run out of time really. I haven't made a decision or an assessment earlier enough. So on to the next one. Oh, I fucking hate it when it happens this. So when the favorite or when anything comes in dramatically, this is another limitation of these charts. It doesn't do it logarithmically. It does it to the, I don't know, what's the opposite of logarithmic? Absolute numbers. Don't know. I'm not a mathematician, but basically it means that I can't see the most recent price action clearly. So this just looks like it's one flat line, but if we were to zoom in, it might look more like this, where there's, slight nuances in a way that it might drift or steam in. But hey ho, what have we got? Favorite that has come in dramatically from a very high price, but don't know what it's been doing in recent times. I would anticipate, just looking at this price action, maybe it's just come in. Second favorite, come in, consolidated, slight bias to a steam with it currently encountering support. So breaks of those lows, this support that we're seeing at this level here, these prices lower, could be significant, or might just see a bounce off of it. Definitely this one here has been drifting at 6s, which gives a good reference point to potentially lay off. There's been a lot of money matched there as well. What's the time? 9 minutes. Okay. I'm going to lay at 6s here, simply because I've seen, I can't see it in the chart, but I can see it in this price action. So this has had a tendency to move lower, and it's at the top of that type of range. This I can see in the charts has had a tendency to steam in, and this has had a tendency to move out, and it's found support at 6s. So I'm just trying to anticipate that this level here will continue as support. These will come in some capacity, and I'll be able to at least make a tick or two with any upward movement that we see on this. So just waiting to get filled. 130 needs to be matched on this before it happens. This is coming in, which is going to help this position if it gets filled. I may be willing to take market price depending what happens. That's broken. Has that come in? Yeah, it's broken 6s. Yeah, shit. Just gonna act a little. Oh, I missed it. I don't want to get a bad fill on this. See, he was right on this, but just a little late to the party, really. Could have taken that at market. Let's see if we'll see a retrace. So it's come back down into it. I've got filled. Keeping my initial position in there. So I do have some skin in the game on this. Again, with the anticipation that we could see an upward move again. So price doesn't move in one straight line. Even if it breaks new highs, there's a tendency for it to pull back and kind of go again to move past that previous high, which is kind of what we're seeing here. So we'll see if we get matched. Movement down on these will help that. Reasonable position Q at the front. Well, not that there's much money there, but we'll soon see. Yep, so got matched on that. Just 7 minutes to the off. I am leaving this position in here, just in the chance that this does fall back onto support there. Obviously I'll be jeopardizing potential profits by taking this position if it gets filled, but just trying to listen to the market, what's going on in front of me. I could take another position there, but my hesitation to do that is I've already made green. So I've already made a profit. I'm trying not to jeopardize that, and the clock is ticking down. These movements down are, increasing the desire to take a long position on this, but I'm just trying to hold fire just to see if it will tick down and allow me to take a little bit more out of the market. Just having a quick peek at the charts as well, just to see whether what I initially was assessing is still holding true. It is, more or less. We're seeing this still drift, got filled. So just acting on that by putting in my closing order. So I've got a bit of wiggle room here I'm basically going for a couple of ticks on this, but got a bit of wiggle room there if this does adversely go against me and start to make break sixes and move lower. But also got a sensible price profit target as well, should it continue with its support and move higher. So I'd need to see these again just start to move in, ideally. There we go. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy to green up at that level. Don't want to take any more positions really, because the time is ticking down. Based on my average profit per race, this is relatively good based on these stakes. So hopefully I'll get filled at that. Just trying to hold out for an extra penny on the green. Every penny counts, I guess. There we go. So 31p profit if this one wins, and 29 if any other selection wins. 4 minutes to go. Yeah, another green on the day. Decent level. So strike rate has continued to be quite good today, and as it has been over the last few days as well. I've had one loss. Let's just have a look at the P&L. So 13.45. Sorry, just looking off screen here, so not currently looking at what is going on with the current race. So passed on a lot today, but started today with 49p profit, then an 8p profit, then a 9p profit, then an 8p profit, 13p loss, 9p profit, and a 29 or 31p profit to come in, taking me on about a pound up on the day. I chuckle because it's not, obviously in real terms the amount isn't that great, but it's the percentage returns and it's the strike rate as well. So after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 races, I've had one loss, with the loss being pretty much in tune with what my typical profit is. So that's what 1/7 is about. So that's about 85% strike rate. But yeah, trying again not to focus too much on that, because it can change at the drop of a hat. But yeah, it's decent consistency, and it's been like that for the last few days as well. So yeah, just trying to continue. But oh my god, this is a load of dog shit. 11 grand matched, 8 grand, 8 minutes to the off. Oh, patchy book, high odds, no clear favourite. I might think I'm gonna just pass on that. I'm not even gonna waste any time finding opportunities to lose money. Again, if you're watching this on Twitch, great. I'm here pretty much every day for the foreseeable future, around about midday UK time, and then also upload to YouTube as well afterwards. So on Twitch, that should be in my profile, link to that. So we've got 14:08, 15 minutes off, still decent amount of time to go. got a favourite steaming in, hitting support. There's not much, which again locks in with fours. So again, I'm just building a story here. Basically, this has drifted in. It's found support. The support is at a key level, crossover level or psych level of fours. So, you know, that in of itself, you can't trade on that. But what I'm just wary of is that this could now bounce off of this to retrace. But if it breaks fours, then that would be, you know, a good indication it could continue with this steam and move lower. So if it were to break fours, typically what it would do is break through, move down for a good few, you know, almost said pips there, ticks, and then pull back before potentially moving lower on another impulse move downwards. But can't really read too much into that. It's still early doors, not much money in the market at the moment. And yeah, just have to wait really. Still got to wait. This second favorite here, 6 is very rangy. It's just traded between these prices, just above 6s and, you know, between 7s. So it's just bounced around between support as a floor and resistance as a ceiling. Yeah, I'm not gonna trade that just yet. Oh, but fruit shoot 82 higher, mate. Yeah. Can't trade today, unfortunately, but good to watch you trading well. Yeah, thanks, man. Yes, been going good for the last few days. Seen some decent improvements that I'm happy with, but again, I keep saying can't get too complacent. Anything can happen. But yeah, I'm happy with progress so far. So this, as I'd said, it's found support off of fours and pulled back. So really now it's a case of seeing, right, is that it's basically there's only 3 things it can do. It can consolidate, right, and just be choppy and move around between support and resistance. It can break higher, which would be a reversal, and, you know, reverse the trend and start to drift, or it can break lower and continue with this steam. 3 things. So just need to position around those outcomes, really, those potential outcomes. So fact, in its move higher, just looking how it's interacted here, so it's broken higher. It looks like it's interacted with these previous kind of highs around here, perhaps potential previous support. You'll find that support turns into resistance, so it could just be finding resistance of that before moving lower, or it might just consolidate within it in an even tighter range than it was previously. So fruit shoot 82, you find these races hardest where the front 3 in the market are hovering around crossovers. Yeah, it can be. To be honest, if you, there's a few I've done today where they have been hovering around crossovers. In fact, that helps me in terms of context. Generally, yeah, I mean the front 3 can be tricky, but if they're hovering at a crossover and there's clear levels of support or resistance, that can help actually frame the trade. So like here, because this has had trouble moving lower than 4s, and it's now started to consolidate, then this potentially is going to be something that it could buy into. So lay and see a movement upwards. If I can see here, even just speaking about this, so this is at resistance and it's at 7s. So I'm anticipating this moves down and this moves up. And in fact, just saying that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in, because these have started to kind of consolidate for a while now. rather than just chatting about it, I'm gonna put some orders into the market to see if I can to see if that plays true. Now I've got two different, basically I'm betting on the same thing, if you like, with these both of these orders. So if one gets filled, I'm likely to cancel the other, because I only got one pair of eyes and it can get confusing trying to manage multiple positions. So I'm hoping this gets filled. One of them gets filled. Cancel that, focus on this one. So I'm anticipating that this acts as resistance, this sevens. Of course, probably going to be wrong. I can't be too greedy on that because it did break. It did partially break, so I'm just going to try and steal a tick. Although that is moving up. Can't be too indecisive in this. I've already got a position here, so I'm going to attempt to steal a tick if this can get matched. That moving up is going to help this move down, but just trying to not to move around too much, to be honest. Can't be too indecisive. Nearing the front of the queue. It feels like they no, actually. So I was able to get matched on that, and that was based on this 7 being a reference point. Sorry, just something else that's just caught my attention here. So yeah, just using the crossovers as a reference point of potential support and resistance, and where the levels have been matched at. Just noticed that as well. Let's just have a reorder. So just reordered. You can see that third favourite has steamed in. Missed that. Come on, pay attention. Going to place that in outside the money. So I'm trying to sell at resistance, or what I'm deeming as resistance. Sixes, where there's been a lot of money matched as well, the brunt of the money. So I'm deeming this is potentially moving down in a downtrend or steam, and it's going to pull back and retrace to create a new lower high, which is why I put this outside the money. Just so I can get a better fill, a better priced entry, a bargain. Of course I could just go at market, but then that just puts me in a more strenuous position because of where my stop loss would be, where my break even would be. So it could very well just run away on me, and I would have missed it. But I'm just trying to anticipate what the downside could be as well. 5 minutes to the off. Yeah, I have missed this. feel my concentration going a bit as well. So 5p across the board. What have I made on the day? Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think I'm gonna call it a day actually. I mean, that's a couple of hours in, so just go over the P&L one more time. Came in, started the day with a 49p profit, then we had an 8p profit, another 9p profit, 8p profit, 13 pence loss, 9p profit, 29p profit, and lastly a 5 or 7p profit, giving a grand total on the day of £1 and between £1 and 4 and £1.06 profit. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Some nice consistency, and this is the thing as well. You can see, I mean, I'm cutting off relatively early, but I mean, it's just I'm trading every day for like 2 hours to 3 hours. It's just, rather than just bungle everything into one day and just do a marathon session, we just get knackered and lose concentration, lose money. I'm just splitting it up, doing a little bit every day, keeping fresh, you know, on just building on each day, and it seems to have helped so far. Seems to have helped. I mean, whereas before, the first time around that I tried to do this many years ago, be like, oh yeah, it's just got to work, put the hours in, start at 12, finish at whenever it would finish, like 8 o'clock or whatever, and it's just detrimental. And that showed in the results. Risking too much money. Here, you know, it's been almost just been over a week, risking low amounts to start with, but you know, not that long in the markets, 2 to 3 hours, but it's consistency doing it every day. And yeah, decent strike rate. Just need to continue with this and not get too complacent. But yeah, if you're watching this back, appreciate it for watching. On YouTube, feel free to subscribe. There's a daily release of these, and also give it a thumbs up if you like it as well. Thanks and take care. Have a great day. Bye.